Hey guys, tonight we slip into the soothing world of Greek mythology, wrapped in the gentle sound of falling rain to create a relaxing feeling that might just ease you into sleep. Imagine yourself nestled in a cozy nook, the soft patter of raindrops kissing the earth outside, carrying the scent of ancient poppies and damp stone. We're diving into the story of Hypnos, the Greek god of sleep, whose whispers of rest feel like a lullaby. Fair warning, with the rain and this tale, you probably won't survive staying awake till the end. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop a comment with your city and local time. I love knowing where you're listening from as the rain falls. Now, dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum. And let's ease into tonight's journey together. You're standing at the edge of a forest where the air feels heavy, like a blanket settling over your shoulders. The trees lean in, their branches drooping as if they, too, are nodding off under the steady drizzle. Somewhere deep within, there's a cave, Hypnos' cave, the heart of sleep itself. You take a step, and the ground is soft, carpeted with moss that seems to sigh under your feet. Damp from the rain, the world is quiet, save for the rhythmic patter of raindrops and a faint trickle of water, like a lullaby sung by stone. You're not sure how you got here, but you feel it a pull, gentle but insistent, urging you toward rest. Your eyelids flutter, and you stifle a yawn. Hypnos is already working his magic, and the rain only deepens the spell. This cave isn't just a myth. The ancient Greeks believed Hypnos lived in the underworld, in a hidden grotto where no sunlight ever crept. Historical fact, poets like Homer described Hypnos' home as a place of eternal dusk, far from the clamor of gods and mortals. You imagine it now, tucked in the realm of Erebus, where shadows pool like ink, and the rain's soft cadence echoes faintly. The air smells of earth and something sweeter, poppies, their petals heavy with sleep's promise, glistening with raindrops. You notice a quirky detail. Some ancient sources claim Hypnos hung black velvet drapes in his cave, like he was curating the ultimate rainy day vibe. It's charming. Picturing a god fluffing pillows as the storm hums outside, you push deeper, and the cave mouth yawns before you, its edges slick with moisture. It's not menacing, though it's inviting, like a friend offering you a warm blanket on a stormy night. The walls glisten with dew, catching flickers of light from somewhere. Maybe the rain's faint glow. You feel your thoughts soften, like a watercolor painting left in the rain. Historians still argue whether Hypnos' cave was a literal place or a metaphor for the mind slipping into dreams. Either way, you're here, and it feels real. The air is cool, and you hear the rain's distant murmur, blending with a soft hum, like a choir singing you to rest. You pause by a stone, smooth as if polished by centuries of sleepy hands, its surface cool and damp. You sit, and it's comfier than you expected, like suspiciously comfy. Did Hypnos invent the rainy day nap? You chuckle to yourself, but the thought lingers. The Greeks saw sleep as sacred, and Hypnos was a force, not just a god. You picture him now young, with soft features, maybe a bit too pretty, his wings delicate as moth wings, shimmering in the dim, rain-soaked light. He's not here yet, but you feel his presence, like the weight of a good blanket. You yawn again, and it's not your fault. Blame the cave and the rain's lullaby. The path slopes downward, and you follow it. Your steps slow, the rain's rhythm guiding you. You're not in a rush, and neither is Hypnos. This place doesn't care about deadlines or alarm clocks. You pass a cluster of flowers, their petals closed tight, as if napping through the storm. You smirk flowers snoozing in the rain. Really, but it fits. Everything here is tuned to rest. You wonder what it'd be like to stay forever, to let Hypnos and the rain tuck you in for 1,000 years. The thought's tempting, but you shake it off. You've got a story to hear, and Hypnos has secrets to share. As you wander, you notice the cave walls are etched with faint patterns, swirls and stars, like dreams doodled into stone, glistening with rain's touch. You trace one with your finger, and it's warm, pulsing faintly despite the damp. Maybe this is where dreams are stored, waiting to slip into mortal minds. You feel a little dizzy, but not in a bad way. It's like the cave and the rain are rocking you gently, a cradle of earth and storm. You're deeper now, and the world above feels far away. Your phone's probably dead up there anyway. Good riddance. You're in Hypnos's domain, and sleep, with the rain's soft song, is the only currency that matters. You're deeper in Hypnos's cave now. The rain's gentle patter, a distant lullaby, as you move through the cool, shadowed air. The walls shimmer with that strange, sourceless light, and you feel a shift like the world is softening at the edges, your thoughts blurring like ink in water. You're not alone anymore. A figure drifts into view, his presence as light as a sigh. It's Hypnos himself, the god of sleep, and his wings delicate, translucent, like dragonfly wings dusted with moonlight flutter softly, stirring the air. You blink, and your eyelids feel heavier, as if he's already brushing your mind with drowsiness. The rain outside hums, sinking with the slow rhythm of your breath, and you're caught in his spell, teetering on the edge of a dream. Hypnos doesn't speak, but his eyes, deep and dark as a starless night, seem to say, rest. He's younger than you expected, almost boyish, with a face so soft it could belong to a poet or a painter. His hair falls in lazy curls, and he carries a horn of some kind, small and curved, tucked against his side. You wonder if it's for pouring out sleep, like some ancient Greek version of a bedtime potion. You smirk at the thought. Hypnos is a cosmic barista, serving up decaf dreams, but there's power in him, quiet and undeniable, like the weight of a heavy quilt on a cold night. Historical fact in ancient Greek texts, like those of Hesiod, Hypnos is described as a winged deity, often depicted with a gentle demeanor. Unlike the flashier Olympians, his wings aren't just for show. They carry him silently across the world, spreading sleep to mortals and gods alike. You imagine him gliding over ancient Athens, his shadow passing over clay rooftops as the city falls quiet. A quirky tidbit. Some myths say Hypnos could shapeshift into a bird to deliver sleep, flitting into bedrooms like a drowsy sparrow. It's a funny image. Picturing a god sneakily tucking people in with a wing flap. You follow him, your steps sluggish, as if the cave floor is pulling you into a hug. The rain sound weaves through the air, a steady drip drip that makes you want to curl up right here. Hypnos moves ahead, his wings brushing the walls, leaving faint trails of shimmering dust. You reach out, curious, and a speck lands on your finger. It's warm, and for a moment, you see a flash, a dream fragment, maybe of a meadow under a twilight sky. You shake your head, trying to stay focused, but it's hard. Historians still argue whether Hypnos's powers were a gift or a curse, a divine mercy or a subtle control over minds. You feel both sides now, grateful for the calm, but wary of losing yourself entirely. The cave widens into a chamber, its ceiling lost in shadow, like a sky that forgot the stars. You notice a low platform, draped in dark cloth, almost like a bed. Is this where Hypnos rests? You chuckle softly. Does the god of sleep need a nap? The idea is absurd, but it fits this place, where everything feels like it's one yawn away from drifting off. You step closer, and the cloth is soft, woven with patterns that shift when you look too long. You're tempted to lie down, just for a second, but Hypnos glances back, his expression unreadable. Not yet, you think? The rain's rhythm urges you to keep moving, its sound a thread tying you to the story. You notice something else, a faint scent, floral but heavy, like the poppies you smelled earlier. It's stronger here, curling through the air like a lullaby you can breathe. You imagine Hypnos tending to these flowers, his wings fluttering as he waters them with drops from that horn. You picture him muttering to himself, "This one's for deep sleep. This one's for nightmares. Oops, wrong batch." The thought makes you grin, but the scent is working on you. Your shoulders loosen and your jaw unclenches. You didn't even realize you were tense until now. The rain outside feels closer, as if the cave is drinking it in, blending water and shadow into something that soothes every nerve. Hypnos pauses by a wall, his fingers tracing the same swirls you saw earlier, those dream doodles etched in stone. You stand beside him, and the patterns seem to move, alive under his touch. You wonder if this is how he crafts sleep, weaving it into the world like an artist. You feel a tug, not just to sleep, but to understand him, this quiet God who holds such power. The rain's soft drone fills the silence, and you realize you're swaying slightly, like a tree in a gentle storm. You're still here, still listening, but Hypnos's wings are a promise soon. You'll drift, and the cave will hold you as the rain sings on. You linger in the chamber, Hypnos's wings casting faint shadows as the rain's steady hum wraps around you like a soft shawl. The god of sleep has drifted ahead, his form almost blending with the cave's dusky air. But you feel tethered to him, drawn deeper into his world. The scent of poppies lingers, and your steps are slower now, each one sinking into the mossy floor as if it's begging you to lie down. You're not just in a cave anymore. You're in the heart of night itself, where Hypnos was born. The air shifts, cooler, heavier, and you sense a presence, vast and ancient, like the sky before a storm. You're about to meet Nyx, Hypnos's mother, the goddess of night, and her shadowy lineage unfolds around you. The cave walls seem to pulse, their swirls now glowing faintly, as if Nyx herself is watching. You imagine her not a figure, but a forced darkness made divine, her veil studded with stars. She's not just Hypnos's mom. She's the mother of a whole brood of primal deities, each one tied to the mysteries of existence. You feel small, like you've stumbled into a family reunion where everyone's a cosmic heavyweight. The rain outside softens, its rhythm a whisper, as if even the storm bows to Nyx's presence. You stifle a yawn, but it's no use between Hypnos's influence and the rain. You're halfway to dreamland already. Historical fact in Hesiod's Theogony, Nyx is one of the first deities, born from chaos itself, and she gives birth to Hypnos, Thanatos, and others without a partner, a testament to her raw power. You picture her now, not as a doting mom baking cookies, but as a vast, untouchable force. Her children carrying her dark essence. A quirky tidbit: some ancient Greeks believed Nyx was so fearsome that even Zeus avoided crossing her. You chuckle, imagining Zeus tiptoeing around her like a kid dodging a strict parent. "Don't wake Mom," he probably muttered. Thunderbolt in hand, you move deeper, following the faint glow of Hypnos's wings, and the cave feels different, like it's expanding. Or maybe your mind is. You see shapes in the shadows, fleeting glimpses of Nyx's other children. There's Erebus, the personification of darkness. His form, a void that makes your skin prickle. Then Moros, doom itself, who thankfully doesn't linger. You're glad Hypnos got the sleep gig instead of something grim like that. You smirk. Imagine Hypnos at a family dinner. The chill one passing the ambrosia while his siblings brood. The rain's drone keeps you grounded, its patter a reminder that you're still here, still awake. Even as Nyx's presence looms, the chamber narrows, and you notice a pool of water, its surface black and still, reflecting nothing. It's like Nyx's mirror, holding secrets you're not sure you want to know. You lean closer, and the air feels thick, pressing against your chest. Historians still argue whether Nyx was a nurturing mother or a distant, impersonal force, shaping her children like a sculptor with clay. You feel the debate. Now there's love in Hypnos' gentle power, but also something cold, inherited from Nyx's endless night. You step back, not ready to stare too long into that pool. The rain sound pulls you forward, a lifeline in the shadowy family tree. You catch up to Hypnos, who's paused by a jagged outcrop, his horn glinting faintly. He doesn't look at you, but you feel his calm, like a hand on your shoulder. You wonder what it's like to be Nyx's son, to carry her darkness, but choose softness instead. The cave feels alive now, its walls humming with the weight of this lineage. You notice a faint breeze, carrying the scent of rain and something sharper, like ozone. Is Nyx nearby, watching her boy? You shake your head, trying to focus, but your thoughts are slippery, like pebbles in a stream. The rain's rhythm is relentless, lulling you, and you realize you're swaying again. You pass a cluster of stones, arranged like a cradle, and you imagine a baby Hypnos there, wrapped in shadows instead of blankets. It's a sweet image, but also eerie. Nyx probably didn't sing lullabies, unless they were woven from starlight. You grin, picturing Hypnos as a toddler, flapping tiny wings and accidentally putting his siblings to sleep. The thought keeps you alert, but not for long. The cave, the rain, and Nyx's lingering presence are too much. You feel your eyelids droop, and Hypnos' wings flutter, as if he knows. You're still walking, still listening, but the night is claiming you. One drowsy step at a time, you're still trailing Hypnos, his wings a faint shimmer in the cave's dim glow. As the rain's soft patter weaves through the air like a distant memory, the presence of Nyx, that vast, starry darkness, lingers in your mind. But now, another figure emerges from the shadows, his aura colder, sharper. It's Thanatos, Hypnos' twin brother, the god of death. And his arrival sends a shiver down your spine. Even as the rain tries to soothe you, the cave feels tighter now, the air heavier, as if the walls themselves are holding their breath. You're caught between sleep and something more final, and Hypnos's gentle calm seems to waver just for a moment in his brother's shadow. Thanatos doesn't look like Hypnos. Not exactly. Where Hypnos is soft and dreamlike, Thanatos is angular, his eyes like polished obsidian, reflecting nothing. He carries no weapon, no scythe, like the grim reapers of later tales. But his presence is enough, a quiet promise that all things end. You notice his wings, darker than Hypnos, folded tightly against his back, as if they're reluctant to stir. You swallow hard, trying to focus on the rain's rhythm, but it's hard to ignore the chill creeping into your bones. You smirk nervously. Great. Now you're stuck in a cave with the divine equivalent of a rainy funeral. Historical fact in Greek mythology, as noted in texts like the Iliad. Hypnos and Thanatos are twin brothers, both sons of Nyx, embodying the close link between sleep and death. The Greeks saw them as intertwined sleep as a temporary death, death as an eternal sleep. You feel that now, standing between them. Hypnos's warmth on one side, Thanatos cold on the other. A quirky tidbit. Some ancient stories claim Thanatos was terrible at small talk, avoided even by other gods, who preferred Hypnos's chill vibes. You can't blame them. Thanatos probably showed up to parties and cleared the room. You take a step, keeping Hypnos's sight. But Thanatos moves closer, silent as a shadow. You wonder what it's like for them, twins bound by Nyx's night, but pulling in opposite directions. Hypnos offers rest, a pause. Thanatos offers an end, no encore. You glance at Hypnos, hoping for a reassuring nod, but he's focused ahead, his horn glinting faintly. The rain sound feels fainter now, as if Thanatos' presence is drowning it out. You imagine the twins as kids, Hypnos tucking mortals into dreamland while Thanatos, well, maybe he just watched, waiting his turn. You chuckle softly, talk about sibling rivalry. The cave opens into a new chamber, its floor slick with damp stone, reflecting Thanatos' dark silhouette. You notice a faint carving on the wall. Two figures, winged, one cradling a sleeping mortal, the other standing still, head bowed. It's them, Hypnos and Thanatos, etched forever in this quiet place. Historians still argue whether the Greeks feared Thanatos more than they revered Hypnos, or if the two were equally honored as inevitable forces. You feel the debate in your chest. Hypnos is comforting, but Thanatos is undeniable. His shadow a reminder that even this cave, this rain, won't last forever. You pause by a shallow pool. Its water, still, like the one you saw before. But this one feels different, colder. as if it's tied to Thanatos. You peer in, half expecting to see your own reflection, but there's nothing, just darkness. You step back, heart thudding, and the rain's gentle drone pulls you back to Hypnos. He's waiting, his wings fluttering softly, as if to say, "Don't linger." You're grateful for him now. His sleepy pull a shield against his brother's weight. You wonder if they ever talk. If Hypnos tries to lighten Thanatos up with a joke. "Hey, bro." Maybe smile sometimes, you grin. But the thought fades as Thanatos' gaze brushes past you. Heavy as stone. You move on, the cave sloping downward, and Thanatos lingers behind, his form fading into the shadows. You feel lighter, but his presence clings, like damp clothes after a storm. The rain's sound grows stronger again, a steady patter that syncs with your breath, and Hypnos' warmth returns, guiding you forward. You pass a cluster of small stones, arranged like a child's game, and you imagine the twins here, long ago. Hypnos building tiny beds, Thanatos stacking cairns. It's a fleeting, human image, and it softens the chill. You're still walking, still listening, but the rain and Hypnos are winning, pulling you deeper into their drowsy embrace. You've left Thanatos' shadow behind, and the cave feels warmer now. Hypnos' gentle pull, guiding you forward as the rain's soft patter hums like a lullaby. The air is thick with that familiar poppy scent, stronger now, and you notice the cave floor giving way to something softer petals, scattered like a carpet, their crimson edges curling under your steps. You're stepping into Hypnos' poppy fields, a vast, dreamlike expanse hidden deep within his realm. The flowers sway, though there's no breeze, and their heavy fragrance wraps around you, making your thoughts feel like they're floating on a lazy river. The rain's rhythm blends with the rustle of petals, and you're tempted to lie down right here, just for a moment. The fields stretch endlessly, each poppy nodding as if whispering secrets of sleep. You reach out, brushing a petal, and it's velvety, cool from the cave's damp air. Your fingers come away dusted with a faint shimmer, and you feel a wave of calm, like sinking into a warm bath. Hypnos is nearby, his wings catching the dim light, and you swear he's smiling. Just a little. You chuckle softly. Imagine him tending these fields like a cosmic gardener, muttering about which blooms make the best naps. The rain's steady drone keeps you tethered, but the poppies are winning. They're scent a spell you don't want to break. Historical fact: the ancient Greeks associated poppies with Hypnos because their sap used to make opium, induced sleep, and was revered in rituals. You picture priests in ancient temples, crushing poppy seeds under flickering torchlight, invoking Hypnos' name. A quirky tidbit: some Greek farmers believed planting poppies near their homes would invite Hypnos' favor, ensuring restful nights, though they probably didn't expect him to show up with a watering can. You grin, imagining Hypnos sneaking into fields, sprinkling sleep dust like an overzealous landscaper. You wander deeper, the poppies brushing your knees, and the cave's walls fade into a misty haze. It's like you're in an open field now. Though you know that's impossible, you're still underground, aren't you? The rain sound is softer, muffled, as if the poppies are drinking it in. You notice Hypnos pausing by a cluster of flowers, his horn raised, and a single drop falls from it, glistening like liquid starlight. The poppy it touches glows briefly, and you feel your eyelids droop. Historians still argue whether Hypnos's poppies were a symbol of divine power or a practical nod to the plant's sedative effects. You feel both sides, now the magic of this place and the grounded truth of ancient pharmacology. You sit, just for a second, on a patch of moss between the poppies. It's comfier than it should be, like the cave is conspiring to keep you here. You lean back, petals brushing your arms, and the rain's rhythm feels like it's syncing with your heartbeat. You imagine Hypnos harvesting these flowers, weaving their essence into the sleep he gives to mortals. Maybe he's got a secret recipe. 2 parts poppy, 1 part moonlight, a dash of rain. You smirk. But the thought feels true in this drowsy haze. The fields seem to hum, alive with Hypnos's power. And you wonder how many dreams were born right here. In this sea of crimson, you stand, reluctant, and follow Hypnos as he moves through the field, his wings stirring the poppies into a gentle dance. You notice something odd. Some flowers are darker, almost black, their petals heavy with a scent that's less soothing, more unsettling. Nightmares. Maybe. You picture Hypnos sorting them like a chef, keeping the bad dreams separate. These are for tax season, he might mutter, and you laugh softly. The sound swallowed by the rain. The fields feel endless, but you're not tired of them. Each step is a step deeper into Hypnos's world, and the poppies are his signature, a reminder that sleep is his art. You pause by a single poppy, taller than the rest, its center glowing faintly, like it's holding a tiny star. You lean closer, and the scent is overwhelming, pulling you toward a memory, a dream you had once, or maybe one you're about to have. Hypnos glances back, his eyes soft but knowing, and you feel a tug, not just to sleep, but to trust him. The rain's patter is your anchor, keeping you here. But the poppies are a tide, pulling you gently toward rest. You're still walking, still listening, but the fields and Hypnos are weaving a spell, and you're ready to let it take you. You're still in Hypnos's poppy fields, the crimson petals brushing your legs as the rain's gentle patter hums in the background, a soothing constant in this dreamlike haze. Hypnos moves ahead, his wings glinting like wet glass. But the fields are fading now, giving way to a new sound, a low, liquid murmur, like a stream whispering secrets. The air grows cooler, and the poppy scent thins, replaced by something fresher, almost metallic. You're approaching the river Lethe, the underworld's river of forgetfulness. Its waters said to erase memories with a single sip. The rain blends with the river's soft gurgle, and you feel a strange pull, as if the cave itself is inviting you to drink and let go. The ground slopes gently, and you see it now, a ribbon of water, dark and glassy, winding through the cave like a vein of liquid night. It's not wide, but it feels endless, stretching into the shadows. The surface is still, reflecting nothing, not even Hypnos, who pauses at its edge, his horn lowered as if in respect. You step closer, and the air feels heavy, like it's pressing your thoughts into silence. Babe, you chuckle nervously, forgetting everything sounds nice, until you remember your Wi-Fi passwords on the line. The rain's rhythm keeps you grounded, its steady drip a reminder to stay sharp. Historical fact: in Greek mythology, the river Lethe was one of the 5 rivers of the underworld, named for forgetfulness, and souls drank from it to erase their earthly memories before reincarnation. You imagine ancient Greeks picturing this river as a reset button, washing away lifetimes of joy and pain. A quirky tidbit: some myths claim Lethe's waters were so potent that even gods avoided them, lest they forget their own divinity. You smirk, picturing Hypnos steering clear, muttering, "Nope. I need to remember where I parked my wings." You kneel by the bank, the damp stone cool against your skin, and peer into the water. It's not just dark, it's opaque, like liquid obsidian, and you feel a tug, not to drink, but to lose yourself in its depths. Hypnos watches, his eyes unreadable, and you wonder if he ever dips his horn in these waters, mixing forgetfulness into his sleep. Oh, the rain's sound is softer now, almost drowned out by the river's murmur, and you feel your memories fuzz at the edges. Nothing specific, just a sense of things slipping. Historians still argue whether Lethe was a literal river or a metaphor for the mind's ability to let go and sleep. You feel both now, the water's eerie pull and the comfort of release. You stand, shaking off the daze, and notice something tiny ripples on the surface, as if the rain is reaching the river, though you're deep underground. You glance up, half expecting a leaky cave roof, but there's only shadow. The ripples pulse, and for a moment, you see a flash of memory, maybe yours, of a rainy afternoon long ago, now dissolving into the Lethe. You blink, and it's gone. You grin, imagining Hypnos as a cosmic bartender, serving shots of forgetfulness. One sip, and you'll forget your ex and your taxes. He might say, The thought keeps you alert, but the river's call is strong. You follow Hypnos along the bank, your steps sluggish, as if the Lethe is tugging at your soul. The cave feels narrower here, the walls closer, etched with faint lines that might be names or stories, lost to time. You wonder if the Lethe feeds Hypnos's power, if sleep and forgetting are two sides of the same coin. The rain's patter returns, stronger now, and you cling to it, not ready to let go of yourself just yet. You notice a single poppy petal floating on the water, crimson against the black. And it feels like a warning, or maybe a promise. Hypnos glances back, his wings fluttering, and you feel his calm, urging you to keep moving. You pass a small alcove, where the river pools into a shallow basin, its surface trembling with the rain's distant echo. You imagine souls here, dipping their hands, letting their pasts dissolve. It's peaceful, in a way, but also unsettling. You picture Hypnos and Thanatos working together, one offering sleep, the other an end, both tied to this river's flow. You smirk, wondering if they ever argued over who gets the credit for a really long nap. The Lethe's murmur is relentless, blending with the rain, and you feel your eyelids droop. You're still here, still listening, but the river and Hypnos are pulling you deeper into a place where memories blur and sleep awaits. You've left the river Lethe's glassy pull behind, its murmur fading as the rain's gentle patter reclaims the air, a soft tether to the world above. Hypnos leads you onward, his wings shimmering in the cave's dim glow, and the scent of poppies creeps back, mingling with damp stone. The cave opens into a vast chamber, its ceiling high and lost in shadow, like a sky that forgot its stars. Here, the air feels charged, heavy with divine presence, and you sense you're no longer alone with Hypnos. A figure looms in the distance, massive and crackling with energy. Zeus himself, king of the gods, his eyes like storm clouds. He's here, in Hypnos's realm, seeking the god of sleep's aid. And you're caught in the middle of a cosmic bargain. The ground trembles faintly, as if Zeus' presence is too much for the cave to hold. You step closer, heart thudding, and notice Hypnos standing calm, his horn glinting as he faces the thunder god. Zeus' voice is low, a rumble that drowns out the rain, and though you can't make out the words, you feel the weight of his request. He needs Hypnos's power, his ability to lull even gods into slumber, to sway some divine fate. You smirk nervously. Zeus, the ultimate micromanager, outsourcing to the sleep guy. The rain's rhythm keeps you steady, but this encounter feels like walking into a thunderstorm with a paper umbrella. Historical fact in Homer's Iliad. Zeus, seeks Hypnos' help to manipulate events during the Trojan War, asking him to put other gods to sleep to tip the scales of battle. You imagine Zeus now, his beard bristling, plotting like a chess master who's low on pawns. A quirky tidbit: some myths suggest Hypnos was reluctant to help Zeus, knowing the king of gods wasn't above throwing a tantrum or a lightning bolt if things went south. You chuckle, picturing Hypnos side-eyeing Zeus, like, "You're gonna owe me big for this, buddy." You edge closer, staying in the shadows, and the air feels thick, like before a storm. Zeus gestures grandly, his hands sparking faintly, and you catch a glimpse of Hypnos' expression calm, but with a flicker of wariness. You wonder what it's like to be Hypnos, a minor god in the face of Olympus's boss, yet holding a power even Zeus can't ignore. The rain's patter is softer now, almost respectful, as if it knows not to interrupt this divine negotiation. Historians still argue whether Hypnos' role in Zeus' schemes made him a pawn or a quiet power broker, a god who could shift fates with a yawn. You feel the debate now. Hypnos' gentle demeanor hides a strength that even Zeus respects, or maybe fears. You notice a small altar nearby, carved from stone, strewn with poppy petals, and glistening with raindrops that somehow found their way here. It's a reminder of Hypnos' domain, his quiet authority, even in Zeus's presence. You imagine Hypnos preparing for this moment, maybe practicing his pitch. One divine nap, coming right up. Just don't blame me if you drool. You grin, but the thought fades as Zeus's voice rises. Insistent, Hypnos nods slowly, his wings fluttering. You feel a shift, like the air itself is growing drowsy. The rain's sound weaves through the tension, a soothing thread, but you're on edge, wondering what Zeus is planning and how Hypnos fits in. You step back, your foot brushing a loose pedal, and the sound is louder than you expected, echoing in the chamber. Zeus doesn't notice, but Hypnos glances your way, his eyes soft but piercing, as if he knows you're watching. You freeze, heart racing, but he turns back to Zeus, his calm unbroken. The cave feels alive now, its walls pulsing with the weight of this moment. You wonder if the Lethe's waters or those poppy fields are fueling Hypnos' courage, giving him the nerve to deal with Zeus. You picture him slipping a bit of Lethe into Zeus' ambrosia later, just to mess with him. The thought makes you smirk, but you're careful not to laugh out loud. You move along the chamber's edge, the rain's steady drone pulling you forward as Zeus's voice fades into a low hum. Hypnos is still there, his form steady, and you realize he's not just a bystander, he's a player in this divine game. His sleep a weapon Zeus can't wield alone. The cave, the rain, and Hypnos' quiet power are all you can focus on now, and you feel your eyelids droop, caught in the spillover of his magic. You're still here, still listening, but the weight of Zeus's presence and Hypnos' calm are pulling you deeper into a story that's as restless as it is soothing. You're still in the grand chamber. The echo of Zeus's rumbling voice fading as the rain's soft patter weaves back into your senses, a gentle anchor in this divine drama. Hypnos stands poised, his wings barely stirring, but the air feels different now, sharper, laced with intrigue. A new presence emerges, her form regal and commanding, her eyes glinting with cunning. It's Hera, queen of the gods, and she's not here for a casual visit. Oh, she's got a plan, one that hinges on Hypnos' sleepy powers, and you're about to uncover her scheme to bend Zeus's will. The cave hums with tension, and the rain's rhythm feels like it's holding its breath, waiting for the plot to unfold. Hera steps closer, her robes shimmering like moonlight on water, and you catch a flicker of a smile, sharp, calculated. She's not addressing Zeus, who's now a distant figure in the chamber's shadows, but Hypnos, her voice low and persuasive. You can't hear the words, but you feel their weight, like a deal being struck in a smoky back room. Hera wants Hypnos to lull Zeus into a deep sleep, to give her time to meddle in divine affairs without his interference. You smirk, Hera playing puppet master while Zeus naps. It's like a cosmic soap opera, and your front row with the rain as your soundtrack. Historical fact in the Iliad. Hera enlists Hypnos to put Zeus to sleep during the Trojan War, allowing her to manipulate events in favor of the Greeks. A bold move against her husband's authority. You imagine Hera now, her mind spinning like a chess grandmaster, every move planned. A quirky tidbit. Some ancient sources hint that Hera bribed Hypnos with promises of a golden throne, or even a divine marriage, which is peak Hera always dangling shiny rewards. You chuckle, picturing Hypnos weighing the offer like, a throne's nice, but I'm really just here for the vibes. You slip behind a jutting rock, keeping out of sight, and watch as Hera leans closer to Hypnos. Her gestures are grand but precise, like she's directing a play. Hypnos listens, his expression unreadable, but you notice his wings twitch, a sign he's not entirely sold. You wonder what's going through his mind, loyalty to Zeus, fear of Hera's wrath, or just annoyance at being dragged into Olympian drama. The rain's patter is steady, a soothing contrast to the scheming, and you feel your shoulders relax, even as the plot thickens. Historians still argue whether Hypnos agreed to Hera's plan out of ambition or coercion, a debate that hums in the air. Now free will versus divine pressure. You notice a faint glow near Hypnos' feet, a scattering of poppy petals, their crimson vivid against the stone. Did he bring them here? Or did the cave itself summon them? Sensing the need for sleep's magic, you imagine Hera eyeing those petals, knowing they're Hypnos' secret weapon. Maybe she's thinking, Get on with it, sleep boy, while Hypnos stalls. Weighing the fallout, you grin, picturing him as a reluctant freelancer, muttering, "This gig's gonna tank my Yelp reviews." The rain sound weaves through the scene, a reminder that Hypnos's power is tied to this place, to the poppies, to the Lethe's whisper. Hera's voice rises slightly, insistent, and Hypnos nods, slow and deliberate. You feel a shift, like the air is growing heavier, drowsier. Is he actually going to do it? You lean forward, heart picking up, but the cave's dim light and the rain's lull are making it hard to focus. You notice a small vial in Hera's hand, glinting faintly, maybe a gift, maybe a bribe. You wonder if it's laced with lethe water or poppy essence. A little extra insurance for her plan. The cave feels alive, its walls pulsing with the weight of this moment, and you're caught in it, a bystander to a divine conspiracy. You move along the chamber's edge, the rain's drone pulling you forward as Hera's form begins to fade, her deal with Hypnos sealed. Hypnos stands alone now, his horn raised slightly, and you feel his calm, but also a flicker of unease. He's in deep, and you're right there with him, wondering how this will play out. The rain and the cave are your only constants, their rhythm a lifeline as you sink deeper into Hypnos's world. You're still listening, still here, but Hera's cunning and Hypnos' quiet power are pulling you toward a sleep that feels inevitable. You're still in the chamber. The rain's soft patter, a faint hum as Hera's commanding presence dissolves into the shadows, leaving Hypnos alone with the weight of her plan. His wings twitch, barely visible in the cave's dim glow, and you sense his hesitation, like a musician pausing before a risky note. He's agreed to Hera's scheme to lull Zeus into a deep sleep, betraying the king of gods for the queen's ambition, and you can feel the stakes rising, heavy as the damp air. The cave seems to tighten around you, its walls pulsing with the tension of Hypnos's choice, and the rain's rhythm feels like a countdown to something inevitable. You're just a bystander, but your heart's racing, caught in the drama of a god about to roll the dice. Hypnos moves now, his steps deliberate, his horn clutched tightly as he heads toward a deeper part of the chamber. You follow, keeping to the edges, and notice the air growing thicker, laced with that familiar poppy scent, but sharper now, like it's laced with purpose. He's preparing, you realize, gathering his power to pull off Hera's request. You imagine him mentally rehearsing, like an actor before a big scene, muttering, "Okay, Zeus, time for the ultimate power nap." You smirk, but the thought's fleeting. There's nothing funny about crossing Zeus, and Hypnos knows it. The rain-steady drone is your anchor, but it's hard to shake the sense of impending divine fallout. Anhama, historical fact in the Iliad. Hypnos reluctantly agrees to Hera's plan, using his powers to put Zeus into a deep sleep on Mount Ida, a move that allows Hera to sway the Trojan War's tide. You picture Hypnos now, his calm exterior hiding a storm of doubt, knowing one wrong move could bring Zeus's wrath crashing down. A quirky tidbit: some ancient tales claim Hypnos had to hide in his cave for days after this stunt, dodging Zeus's lightning bolts like a kid avoiding chores. You chuckle, imagining him peeking out from behind those black velvet drapes you heard about, whispering, "Is he gone yet?" You pause by a cluster of poppies growing inexplicably from the stone, their petals trembling as if they sense Hypnos' resolve. He kneels beside them, his fingers brushing the blooms, and you see a faint shimmer sleep essence, maybe, gathering in his horn. The cave feels alive, its shadows shifting like they're cheering him on, or maybe warning him. You wonder what's driving him Hera's bribe, loyalty to her cause, or just the thrill of pulling off something this bold. Historians still argue whether Hypnos' betrayal was a calculated power play or a moment of weakness, a god caught in Hera's web. You feel the debate now, his gentle nature at odds with the audacity of this act. The chamber narrows, and you follow Hypnos toward a raised platform, draped in dark cloth, like the one you saw before, but grander, fit for a king. Is this where Zeus will sleep? You imagine Hypnos setting the scene, fluffing metaphysical pillows, maybe sprinkling a bit of Lethe water for extra Z's. You grin, picturing him as a divine hotel concierge, whispering, "Enjoy your stay. Don't smite the staff." But the humor fades as Hypnos' wings flutter, faster now, and the air grows heavy, almost suffocating. The rain sound is softer, as if it's retreating, leaving you alone with Hypnos' quiet intensity and the weight of what's coming. You notice a faint glow on the platform, a scattering of poppy dust, and you realize Hypnos is weaving his spell right here, right now. His horn tilts, and a single drop falls, shimmering like liquid moonlight, and the cloth seems to drink it in, glowing faintly. You feel a wave of drowsiness, a spillover from his power, and you shake your head, trying to stay focused. The cave's walls are etched with swirls that pulse, like they're counting down to Zeus's slumber. You wonder if Hypnos is scared, if he's thinking of Nyx, his mother, or Thanatos, his twin, and their reactions to this gamble. The rain's patter pulls you back, a lifeline in this moment of divine defiance. You step closer, your breath shallow, as Hypnos stands over the platform, his eyes fixed on something you can't see. The cave feels like it's holding its breath, and you're right there with it, caught in the gravity of Hypnos' choice. He's not just a sleepy god anymore. He's a rebel, risking everything for Hera's plan. The rain and the cave are your only constants. Their rhythm, a soft promise that you're still here, still listening. But Hypnos's power is pulling you under, and you feel your eyelids droop, the betrayal unfolding like a dream you can't escape. You're still in the chamber. The rain's gentle patter, a distant hum as Hypnos stands over the glowing platform, his horn lowered, the air thick with the weight of his betrayal. The poppy dust shimmers, and you feel a wave of drowsiness, like the cave itself is exhaling sleep. Hypnos has woven his spell, and somewhere, Zeus is slipping into slumber, unaware of Hera's machinations. But the calm is fleeting the air crackles, a sudden shift, and you sense the storm before you see it. Zeus awakens, his fury a tangible force, and the cave trembles as his thunderous rage descends on Hypnos. The rain's rhythm falters, as if startled, and you're caught in the crossfire of divine wrath. The chamber lights up, not with soft glows, but with jagged flashes, like lightning trapped underground. Zeus appears, his form massive, his eyes blazing like twin storms. His voice is a roar, shaking the walls, and you duck behind a stone outcrop, heart pounding. Hypnos stands his ground, wings folded. But you see the tension in his frame. He knew this was coming. Zeus's anger is a force of nature, accusing Hypnos of treachery, of siding with Hera to undermine his rule. You smirk nervously. Busted. Hypnos. This is like getting caught sneaking cookies. Except the cookie jar is Olympus, and the punishment is lightning. The rain tries to soothe, but it's drowned out by Zeus's fury. Historical fact in the Iliad. Zeus awakens from Hypnos-induced sleep and is furious, nearly punishing Hypnos for his role in Hera's scheme. A rare moment where a minor god faces the king's wrath. You imagine Zeus now, his beard crackling with static, his thunderbolt raised like a cosmic gavel. A quirky tidbit. Some myths say Zeus chased Hypnos across the heavens, only stopping because Hypnos was too slippery, flitting away like a drowsy butterfly. You chuckle, picturing Hypnos dodging bolts, muttering, "Should have stuck to mortals." Man, the cave shakes again, loose pebbles raining down, and you press yourself against the stone, hoping Zeus doesn't notice you. Hypnos speaks, his voice soft but steady, a contrast to Zeus' booming rage. You can't hear the words, but you feel their calm, like a breeze cutting through a storm. Is he apologizing, deflecting, or just buying time? The air grows heavier, and you notice poppy petals scattering, caught in an unseen wind. You wonder if Hypnos is trying to work his magic again, a desperate encore to calm Zeus. Historians still argue whether Hypnos' defiance was reckless or brave. A minor god standing up to Olympus' king, or a fool caught in Hera's game. You feel the debate now. Hypnos' quiet strength against Zeus's overwhelming power. Zeus steps closer, his thunderbolt glowing, and you hold your breath. The rain's faint patter, your only lifeline. The platform where Hypnos wove his spell is scorched now, the cloth singed, a testament to Zeus's temper. You imagine Hypnos regretting that golden throne Hera promised, thinking, "Not worth it, lady." You grin, but it's tense. There's no joking your way out of this. The cave feels smaller, the walls closing in, and you wonder if Hypnos will bolt. Maybe dive into the Lethe to forget this ever happened. But he doesn't run. His wings flutter, and you see a flicker of defiance, or maybe fear, in his eyes. A sudden gust sweeps through, carrying the scent of rain and ozone, and Zeus's rage seems to peak, his voice a deafening clap. You flinch, expecting a bolt to strike, but Hypnos raises his horn, not in attack, but in gesture, like a diplomat waving a white flag. The cave pulses, the swirls on the walls glowing faintly, as if the cave itself is pleading for peace. You picture Hypnos channeling the poppy fields, the Lethe's calm, even Nyx's starry protection. Anything to survive this. Immersive, he says. You smirk, imagining him whispering, "Chill, big guy. Let's all nap it out." The rain's sound creeps back, a soft promise that the storm might pass. You edge along the chamber, staying low, as Zeus's form looms, his anger still palpable, but slowing, like a fire running out of fuel. Hypnos stands firm, and you realize he's not just surviving, he's enduring. His power, a quiet match for Zeus's blaze. The cave, the rain, and Hypnos' calm are all you cling to now, pulling you through the chaos. You're still here, still listening. But the clash of gods and the rain's lull are blending, drawing you toward a sleep that feels both dangerous and inevitable. The chamber still hums with the aftermath of Zeus's fury. The scorched platform and scattered poppy petals a testament to his wrath. But the air is shifting, softening, as the rain's gentle patter creeps back, a soothing whisper against the fading storm. Hypnos stands steady, his wings drooping slightly, as Zeus's towering form begins to recede, his thunderous presence dimming like a storm passing over the horizon. You're still crouched behind the stone outcrop, heart slowing. But the tension lingers. Hypnos isn't out of the woods yet. A new presence emerges, vast and enveloping, like a night sky unfurling. It's Nyx, Hypnos' mother, her starry veil sweeping through the cave to shield her son from Zeus's lingering anger. The rain's rhythm syncs with your breath, and you feel the cave exhale, as if it, too, is relieved. Nyx doesn't appear as a figure, but as a sensation darkness that's warm, not cold. wrapping around Hypnos like a cosmic blanket. You sense her power, older than Zeus, deeper than Olympus, and the cave seems to bow, its walls glowing with faint starlight. Hypnos relaxes, his horn lowering, and you realize Nyx is his sanctuary, her presence a reminder that even the king of gods treads lightly around her. You smirk Zeus might throw lightning, but Nyx could probably ground him for eternity. The rain's soft drone feels like her voice, calming the chaos, and you're tempted to sink into it, to let go of the drama and drift. Historical fact in the Iliad: Hypnos flees to Nyx for protection after Zeus's wrath, and her authority is so great that Zeus relents, unwilling to challenge her. You imagine Nyx now, her starry embrace a fortress, her silence louder than Zeus's roars, a quirky tidbit. Some ancient Greeks believed Nyx could dim the sun itself, a flex that made even Apollo nervous. You chuckle, picturing her rolling her eyes at Zeus, like, "Try me, Thunder Boy." The rain's patter weaves through the scene, a thread of calm, and you feel your shoulders loosen, the cave's tension dissolving under Nyx's veil. You step out from behind the stone, cautious, and the air feels lighter, as if Nyx's presence is lifting the weight of Zeus's anger. Hypnos glances your way, his eyes soft but tired, and you wonder what it's like to be her son. To know you've got the ultimate cosmic backup. The cave's walls shimmer, their swirls now tracing patterns like constellations, and you imagine Nyx weaving them, a lullaby in stone. Historians still argue whether Nyx's intervention was a literal act or a poetic symbol of Hypnos's untouchable nature. A god tied to forces older than the Olympians. You feel the debate, and her protection is real, but it's also a reminder of Hypnos' own quiet power. You notice a faint breeze, carrying the scent of rain and something sweeter, like the poppies from before, but tempered by Nyx's cool darkness. It's as if she's blending her essence with Hypnos' domain, reinforcing his sanctuary. You picture her whispering to him, maybe not in words, but in feelings, pride, reassurance, maybe a gentle nudge to avoid Hera's schemes next time. You grin, imagining Hypnos nodding, like, "Yeah, Mom, I'll stick to mortals from now on." The rain's sound grows stronger, a steady pulse, and you feel it pulling you deeper toward a calm that's almost tangible. You follow Hypnos as he moves away from the platform, the scorched cloth now dusted with faint starlight, like Nyx's signature. The cave feels vast again, its ceiling lost in shadow. But it's not oppressive, it's comforting, like a night sky you could fall into. You wonder if Nyx is still here, watching, or if her veil is enough to keep Zeus at bay. The Lethe's murmur echoes faintly, a reminder of forgetfulness, and you think Hypnos might need a sip after this ordeal. You smirk, picturing him dunking his whole horn in the river, muttering, "Erase that whole Zeus mess." The rain's rhythm keeps you tethered, but Nyx's presence is a tide, pulling you toward rest. You pause by a smooth stone, its surface etched with a single star, and you trace it, feeling a warmth that's not just the caves. Nyx's protection, Hypnos's calm, and the rain's lull are weaving together, and you feel your eyelids droop, the drama fading like a dream. You're still here, still listening, but the cave, the rain, and Nyx's starry embrace are guiding you deeper toward a sleep that feels safe, eternal, and just out of reach. You're moving deeper into the cave now. Nyx's starry veil, a fading warmth behind you as the rain's gentle patter returns, a soft pulse guiding your steps. Hypnos leads the way, his wings shimmering faintly, the weight of Zeus' wrath and Hera's scheme seemingly lifted by his mother's protection. The air feels lighter, laced with that familiar poppy scent, and the cave opens into a quieter space, its walls etched with swirling patterns that seem to dance in the dim light. This is where Hypnos works his true magic, not for gods, but for mortals, weaving dreams that slip into their sleeping minds. You feel a shift, like the world is softening, and you're about to witness the god of sleep crafting visions that haunt the night. The rain's rhythm hums, a lullaby for the dreams you're about to see. The chamber is smaller, almost cozy, with a low ceiling that glimmers like a twilight sky. You notice a stone table, strewn with poppy petals and small, glowing orbs, dreams, maybe, waiting to be sent out. Hypnos pauses here, his horn lowered, and you see him touch an orb, his fingers gentle, like a painter adding a final stroke. The orb pulses, and for a moment, you catch a glimpse inside a mortal dreaming of a sunlit meadow, laughter echoing. You blink, and it's gone. But the warmth lingers. You smirk. Hypnos as a dream DJ, spinning tracks for sleeping souls. The rain's soft drone weaves through the scene, and you feel your eyelids droop, caught in the spillover of his craft. Historical fact: ancient Greeks believed dreams were divine messages, often shaped by gods like Hypnos, who could send visions of truth or deception. As noted in texts like Homer's Odyssey, you imagine Hypnos now, curating dreams for mortals in ancient Athens, slipping hope or warnings into their sleep. A quirky tidbit: some Greeks thought Hypnos hid tiny truths in every dream, like Easter eggs for the soul, though you'd need a priest to decode them. You chuckle, picturing Hypnos sneaking in a dream about lost sandals, just to mess with someone. The rain's patter keeps you tethered, but the chamber's glow is pulling you under. You step closer, careful not to disturb the orbs, and notice the table's surface is etched with names mortals. Maybe, or places Hypnos visits in his nightly rounds. You wonder how he chooses who gets what dream, if he knows their fears or hopes. The air is heavy with poppy scent, and you feel a wave of calm, like sinking into a feather bed. Historians still argue whether Hypnos's dreams were acts of kindness or control, shaping mortal minds under the guise of rest. You feel the debate now. Each orb is a gift, but also a power, a glimpse into Hypnos's quiet influence over humanity. You sit on a smooth stone nearby, its surface cool and damp, and watch Hypnos work. He moves from orb to orb, his wings fluttering softly, and you see flashes: a sailor dreaming of calm seas, a child chasing a star. It's mesmerizing, like watching a silent film of human longing. You imagine Hypnos muttering to himself, "This one needs hope. This one needs a nudge." You grin, picturing him accidentally sending a nightmare to the wrong mortal, like a cosmic mail mix-up. The rain's rhythm syncs with your breath, and you realize you're swaying. The dream's glow blending with the cave's shadows. You notice a darker orb, its light muted, and Hypnos hesitates before touching it. A flicker, a mortal dreaming of loss, shadows creeping in. He frowns, and you wonder if he feels their pain, if crafting dreams ever weighs on him. The Lethe's murmur echoes faintly, a reminder of forgetfulness, and you think maybe Hypnos uses it to soften the harsh dreams. You picture him balancing light and dark, like a chef perfecting a recipe. The rain's sound is steady, a lifeline, but the orb's glow is a tide, pulling you towards sleep's edge. You stand, reluctant, and follow Hypnos as he moves to a corner of the chamber, where a single orb glows brighter, pulsing like a heartbeat. He cradles it, and you feel a tug, like it's meant for you, a dream of rain, perhaps, or a memory you've forgotten. His eyes meet yours, soft but knowing, and you feel exposed, like he sees your own dreams. The cave, the rain, and Hypnos' quiet work are all you hold on to now. Their rhythm, a promise of rest. You're still here, still listening, but the dreams and the rain are weaving a spell, and you're ready to drift. You're still in the cozy chamber, the glow of Hypnos' dream orbs casting soft light as the rain's gentle patter hums through the cave, a steady lullaby that syncs with your slowing breath. Hypnos cradles that bright orb, its pulse fading as he sets it aside, but his work isn't done. The air shifts, and you notice 3 shadowy figures emerging from the chamber's edges, their forms fluid, like wisps of smoke shaped into wings. These are the Oneiroi, Hypnos' sons, the dream weavers who carry his visions to mortal minds. The cave feels alive with their presence, and you're about to see how they spin dreams under their father's quiet guidance. The rain's rhythm weaves through the scene, and you feel a tug, like you're slipping closer to sleep's edge. The Oneiroi Morpheus, Phobiter, and Thanatos move with eerie grace, their wings shimmering like Hypnos' but darker, edged with a strange iridescence. Morpheus, the leader, seems almost human, his eyes glinting with a storyteller's spark. Phobiter's form flickers, animal-like, as if he's ready to morph into a nightmare beast. Thanatos is vaguer, his shape shifting like a mirage, tied to objects and places. You smirk. Hypnos really passed down the family business. Huh. It's like a dream factory, with the Oneiroi as overworked interns. The rain's soft drone keeps you grounded, but the chamber's glow and the Oneiroi's dance are pulling you deeper. Historical fact in Greek mythology. As noted by Ovid in his Metamorphoses, the Oneiroi are Hypnos' sons, each tasked with a type of dream Morpheus for human forms, Phobiter for animals, and Thanatos for inanimate things. You imagine them now, flitting through ancient nights, delivering visions to sleeping Greeks. A quirky tidbit. Some myths say Morpheus was a bit of a show-off, crafting dreams so vivid they confused mortals for days. You chuckle, picturing him smirking as he drops an Oscar-worthy dream, muttering, "Top that, brothers." The rain's patter blends with the Oneiroi's faint hum, and you feel your thoughts soften. You step closer, careful not to disturb the orbs, and watch Morpheus pluck one from the table. Its light steady, he breathes on it, and you see a flicker, a mortal dreaming of a lost friend, their laughter echoing. Phobiter grabs a darker orb, and you glimpse a wolf stalking through a forest, a nightmare taking shape. Thanatos touches another, and you see a crumbling temple, its stones whispering secrets. You wonder how they decide who gets what, if they argue like siblings over dream assignments. Historians still argue whether the Oneiroi were extensions of Hypnos' power or independent agents, shaping dreams with their own flair. You feel the debate now. Their unity with Hypnos is clear, but their individuality sparks in every orb. You sit on a damp stone nearby, its coolness a faint anchor, and watch the Oneiroi weave. The air is thick with poppy scent, and you feel a wave of drowsiness, like the cave is exhaling sleep. You imagine Hypnos overseeing his sons, maybe giving notes like a director Morpheus. Less drama. Phobiter, ease up on the claws. You grin, picturing Phobiter rolling his eyes, like, "Dad, mortals love a good scare." The rain's rhythm is relentless, syncing with the Oneiroi's movements, and you realize you're swaying, caught in the dream-weaving spell. You notice a stray orb, its light flickering, and Thanatos hesitates before touching it. A flash, a mortal dreaming of a broken loom, its threads tangled. He frowns, adjusting it, and the dream softens, the loom whole again. You wonder if they feel the mortal's emotions, if weaving dreams ever tugs at their essence. The Lethe's faint murmur echoes, and you think maybe they dip into it to keep their work detached. You picture Hypnos teaching them the balance, like a chef passing down a recipe. The rain sound is a lifeline, but the Oneiroi's dance is a tide, pulling you toward rest. You stand, reluctant, and follow Hypnos as he moves past his sons, his wings brushing an orb that glows briefly, like it's meant for you. The Oneiroi glance your way, their eyes unreadable, and you feel exposed, like they know your dreams already. The cave, the rain, and the Oneiroi's quiet work are all you hold on to now. Their rhythm a promise of sleep. You're still here, still listening. But the dreams and the rain are blending, drawing you into a haze where wakefulness fades. You're drifting through the cave now. The Oneiroi's dream weaving fading behind you as Hypnos leads you deeper. His wings a soft shimmer in the dim light. The rain's gentle patter echoes, a steady pulse that feels like it's part of the cave itself, guiding you into a new space where the air is hushed, heavy with reverence. The walls here are smoother, carved with faint symbols, poppies, wings, stars, and you sense this is a sacred place, where ancient Greeks once honored Hypnos in quiet shrines. You're stepping into the heart of his worship, where mortals sought his gift of rest, and the rain's rhythm feels like a prayer, soothing your thoughts into a drowsy haze. The chamber is small, almost intimate, with a low altar at its center, draped in dark cloth and strewn with dried poppy petals. They're crimson faded but still potent. You imagine ancient worshippers here, their whispers blending with the rain, offering honey and wine to Hypnos for a night of peace. The air smells of earth and faint sweetness, and you feel a calm settle over you, like a hand smoothing a wrinkled blanket. You smirk. Hypnos's fan club must have been the chillest in ancient Greece. No wild parties, just vibes and naps. The rain's soft drone keeps you tethered, but the shrine's quiet pulls you deeper. Historical fact: ancient Greeks revered Hypnos in small, private shrines, often alongside his brother Thanatos, as noted in archaeological findings from sanctuaries like the one at Amyclae, where sleep was seen as a sacred act. You picture devotees now, slipping into this cave-like space, their oil lamps flickering as they prayed for rest. A quirky tidbit: some Greeks believed leaving a single poppy on Hypnos's altar would guarantee a dreamless sleep, like hitting the off switch on nightmares. You chuckle, imagining a sleepy priest forgetting the poppy and dreaming of tax audits instead. The rain's patter weaves through the silence, and you feel your eyelids droop. You step closer to the altar, noticing a small clay bowl, its edges chipped, holding traces of ancient offerings, maybe milk or barley, long since dust. You wonder what it was like to worship Hypnos, to trust a god with your vulnerable hours. The cave feels warm, like it's remembering those prayers, and Hypnos pauses, his horn glinting as he brushes the altar. You see a faint glow, a whisper of his power, and you imagine him listening to those ancient pleas, weaving rest for weary farmers or anxious poets. Historians still argue whether Hypnos worship was widespread or a niche cult, a god too subtle for grand temples. You feel the debate now. His shrines were small, but their intimacy speaks of deep devotion. You sit on a smooth stone beside the altar, its surface cool and damp, and let the rain's rhythm wash over you. The cave's walls seem to hum, their symbols pulsing faintly, like they're recounting stories of sleepless nights eased by Hypnos's touch. You picture him visiting these shrines, maybe invisible, sprinkling sleep like a cosmic gardener. You grin, imagining him muttering, "You're welcome, mortals. Now stop sacrificing that weird-smelling cheese." The rain sound is relentless, syncing with your breath, and you realize you're swaying. Caught in the shrine's sacred calm, you notice a faint carving on the altar, a winged figure, Hypnos, his horn raised, surrounded by stars. It's simple but powerful, and you feel a connection to those ancient worshippers, their hopes not so different from yours. The Lethe's murmur echoes faintly, a reminder of forgetfulness. And you wonder if Hypnos offered that too. In his shrines, a chance to let go. You picture devotees leaving their worries here, like dropping a heavy bag. The rain's drone is a lifeline, but the altar's glow is a tide, pulling you toward rest. You stand, reluctant, and follow Hypnos as he moves past the altar, his wings brushing the cloth, stirring a faint scent of poppies. The chamber feels like a memory, holding centuries of quiet faith. You wonder if Hypnos still hears those prayers, if he feels the weight of mortal trust. The cave, the rain, and the shrine's stillness are all you cling to now. Their rhythm, a promise of peace. You're still here, still listening. But the worship and the rain are blending, drawing you into a sleep that feels sacred, timeless, and just within reach. You're leaving the sacred shrine behind, the faint glow of the altar fading as Hypnos guides you deeper into the cave. His wings, a soft shimmer in the dim light. The rain's gentle patter echoes, a constant hum that feels like it's woven into the stone itself, urging you forward. The air grows cooler, and the poppy scent lingers, but now it's mixed with something earthier. Like ancient clay, the walls here are different, covered in faint etchings of winged figures, poppies, and dreamy scenes. as if you've stumbled into a gallery of Hypnos' legacy. You're touching artifacts now, vases and poems carved into stone, each one a testament to the god of sleep's enduring presence in the ancient world. The rain's rhythm soothes your thoughts, and you feel yourself sinking deeper into this drowsy journey. You pause by a smooth wall, its surface etched with a delicate scene Hypnos, his horn raised, pouring sleep over a reclining mortal. The lines are worn but precise, and you trace them, feeling the cool stone under your fingers. It's not just art, it's a story, a moment captured by someone who knew Hypnos' power. Nearby, you spot a shattered vase, its fragments glinting in the cave's light. Painted with poppies and winged figures, you imagine it once held offerings, maybe wine or oil, for Hypnos' shrine. You smirk. Ancient Greeks were out here making fan art for the sleep god. And it's honestly kind of wholesome. The rain's soft drone keeps you grounded, but the artifacts pull you into the past. Historical fact, archaeological finds, like vases from the 5th century BCE, often depict Hypnos as a winged youth, sometimes alongside Thanatos, as seen in pottery from Attica, showing his role in Greek culture. You picture artisans now, hunched over clay, painting Hypnos under lamplight, hoping for a good night's rest. A quirky tidbit, some ancient poets claimed Hypnos inspired their work, whispering verses in their dreams, which is probably the oldest excuse for sleeping on the job. You chuckle, imagining a poet blaming Hypnos for missing a deadline, like, "Sorry, boss. The sleep god said take a nap." The rain's patter blends with the cave's quiet, and you feel your eyelids droopy. You move along the wall, noticing more etchings, lines from poems, maybe, or hymns to Hypnos, their words half erased by time. One fragment catches your eye. Sleep, soft-winged, brings peace to weary hearts. You feel it, the weight of those words, and you wonder who carved them, what sleepless nights they faced. Hypnos hovers nearby, his horn glinting, and you imagine him watching these artifacts take shape, maybe flattered by the attention. Historians still argue whether Hypnos was a major deity or a background figure. His image on vases, a sign of devotion or just artistic flair. You feel the debate now. These artifacts are small, but they carry a quiet reverence, like whispers in the dark. You kneel by the vase fragments, picking up a piece no bigger than your palm. It's smooth, painted with a single poppy, its petals vivid despite the centuries. You feel a connection to the hands that made it, to the mortals who saw Hypnos as more than a myth. The cave feels warm, like it's holding these stories close, and you picture Hypnos collecting these artifacts, like a proud parent pinning drawings to a fridge. You grin, imagining him muttering, "Nice vase, but they got my wings all wrong." The rain's rhythm syncs with your breath, and you realize you're swaying, caught in the artifact's timeless calm. You notice a stone tablet nearby, its surface carved with a longer poem. Though parts are too worn to read, you make out phrases: gentle hypnos, night's embrace, and you feel a tug, like the words are a lullaby. The Lethe's faint murmur echoes, and you wonder if Hypnos inspired these lines, if he slipped into poets' dreams to guide their hands. You picture him tweaking a verse, like, more poppies, less angst. Guys, the rain sound is steady, a lifeline, but the artifact's glow is a tide, pulling you toward rest. You stand, reluctant, and follow Hypnos as he moves past the wall, his wings brushing a carving, stirring a faint scent of dust and poppies. The cave feels like a museum, preserving Hypnos' legacy in every line and shard. You wonder if he still sees these artifacts, if they remind him of his mortal devotees. The cave, the rain, and the artifact's quiet stories are all you cling to now. Their rhythm, a promise of peace. You're still here, still listening. But the etchings and the rain are blending, drawing you into a sleep that feels ancient, sacred, and just within reach. You're drifting deeper into the cave, the etched walls and shattered vases fading behind you as Hypnos leads you onward. His wings, a faint shimmer in the dim, flickering light. The rain's gentle patter echoes through the stone, a soft rhythm that feels like it's part of your pulse now, urging you into a quieter, more reflective space. The air is cool, tinged with the familiar scent of poppies, but there's a new weight to it, like the cave is holding centuries of questions. You're stepping into a realm of debate now, where scholars and poets have long puzzled over Hypnos' power. Did he rule gods with his sleepy magic? Or was he merely their servant? A quiet cog in Olympus's machine. The rain's hum soothes your thoughts, but the question lingers, pulling you into a drowsy contemplation. The chamber you enter is vast, its ceiling lost in shadow, like a sky too heavy with stars to shine. The walls are smoother here, almost polished, and you notice faint carvings, and not scenes, but words, fragmented arguments etched in ancient script. They're like echoes of debates, questions about Hypnos' place in the divine hierarchy. You pause by one, tracing the worn letters, and feel a spark of curiosity. Was Hypnos a puppet of Zeus and Hera? Or did his ability to lull even gods give him a subtle throne? You smirk. Imagine Hypnos smirking at the Olympians, like, keep arguing. I am the one who tucks you in. The rain's soft drone keeps you tethered, but the chamber's weight draws you deeper. Historical fact. Ancient Greek texts, like those of Hesiod and Homer, depict Hypnos as both a minor deity and a force capable of influencing Zeus, highlighting his ambiguous status in mythology. You picture scholars in ancient Athens, debating over wine, trying to pin down Hypnos' role. A quirky tidbit, some fringe Greek philosophers claimed Hypnos was the true ruler of the cosmos, arguing that sleep governs all. even gods, since nothing escapes its pull. You chuckle, imagining a toga-clad scholar pitching that theory, only to yawn mid-sentence. The rain's patter blends with the cave's silence, and you feel your eyelids droop. The debate lulling you as much as Hypnos' magic. You move along the wall, noticing more carvings, phrases like sleep binds all and God's bow to rest. They're not just words, they're challenges. Questions that echo through time. You wonder how Hypnos felt about these debates, if he cared about his rank or just kept weaving dreams. Unbothered, he's nearby, his horn glinting, and you imagine him shrugging like, power. I just want everyone to chill. Historians still argue whether Hypnos' influence over gods like Zeus was a sign of dominion or a borrowed strength, reliant on Hera's schemes or Nyx's protection. You feel the debate now. His quiet power seems absolute in this cave, but was it ever his own? You sit on a smooth stone, its surface cool and damp, and let the rain's rhythm wash over you. The chamber feels like a courtroom, but one where no verdict was reached, only questions left to echo. You picture Hypnos navigating Olympus, his sleepy pull a wild card. Did he ever flex it? Knowing he could tip the scales, you grin, imagining him whispering to Zeus, nap time, big guy, or I'll call mom. The rain sound is relentless, syncing with your breath, and you realize you're swaying, caught in the chamber's contemplative haze. You notice a faint carving, different from the rest. A single line, sleep is king, but serves. It's a paradox, and you feel its weight, like the Lethe's murmur creeping back, urging you to let go of answers. You wonder if Hypnos saw himself as ruler or servant, or if he just existed, weaving rest without ego. The cave's walls pulse faintly, as if they're still holding the debate, and you feel a tug, not as to sleep, but to surrender to the mystery. You picture Hypnos dodging the question, like ruler, servant. How about a nice dream instead? The rain's drone is a lifeline, but the carving's questions are a tide, pulling you toward rest. You stand, reluctant, and follow Hypnos as he moves past the wall, his wings brushing a carving, stirring a faint scent of dust and poppies. The chamber feels like a library of unanswered questions, preserving the debate over Hypnos' power. You wonder if he ever cared about the arguments, or if he just kept spinning dreams, letting the world decide. The cave, the rain, and the chamber's quiet riddles are all you cling to now. Their rhythm, a promise of peace. You're still here, still listening, but the debate and the rain are blending, drawing you into a sleep that feels timeless, elusive, and just within reach. You're slipping deeper into the cave, the carved debates fading behind you as Hypnos guides you forward. His wings, a faint shimmer against the stone's dim glow. The rain's gentle patter echoes, a soft rhythm that feels like it's woven into your breath, pulling you into a new space where the air is warmer, tinged with the scent of herbs and poppies. The walls here are etched with simpler symbols beds, closed eyes, soft curves, and you sense a shift, a focus on healing rather than divine drama. You're entering the realm where ancient Greeks tied Hypnos to medical rituals, seeing sleep as a balm for body and soul. The rain's hum soothes your thoughts, and you feel yourself sinking into a drowsy calm, like a patient awaiting a gentle cure. The chamber is small, almost womb-like, with a low stone bench draped in faded cloth, scattered with dried herbs that crunch underfoot. You imagine ancient healers here, their hands stained with poppy sap, invoking Hypnos to aid their patients. The air is heavy with the memory of rest, and you notice a shallow basin, its edges worn, holding traces of what might have been a sleep-inducing brew. You smirk Hypnos as the OG sleep therapist, prescribing naps before it was cool. The rain's soft drone keeps you tethered, but the chamber's warmth pulls you deeper, like a blanket settling over your shoulders. Historical fact in ancient Greece: sleep was central to healing practices, particularly in Asclepian temples, where patients underwent incubation rituals, sleeping in sacred spaces to receive divine cures, often linked to Hypnos's influence. You picture sufferers now, lying on stone beds, hoping Hypnos would send a dream of health. A quirky tidbit: some Greek physicians believed snoring was a sign of Hypnos's favor, proof the god was working on you. You chuckle, imagining a healer nodding approvingly at a loud snore, like, "Yup, Hypnos is on the case." The rain's patter blends with the chamber's quiet, and you feel your eyelids droop. You step closer to the bench, noticing faint carvings, poppies intertwined with serpents, symbols of Asclepius, the healing god, tied to Hypnos's domain. You wonder how it felt to lie here, trusting sleep to mend what herbs couldn't. Hypnos hovers nearby, his horn glinting, and you imagine him visiting these rituals, maybe invisible, sprinkling rest over fevered brows. Historians still argue whether Hypnos was a medical deity in his own right or a symbolic aid, his sleep a tool for Asclepius's cures. You feel the debate now. The chamber's air is thick with healing intent, but Hypnos's role feels both central and elusive. A quiet partner in recovery, you sit on the bench, its surface cool and smooth, and let the rain's rhythm wash over you. The herb's faint scent mixes with poppies, and you feel a wave of calm, like sinking into a warm bath. You picture Hypnos working with healers, maybe whispering recipes for sleep tonics, poppy sap, a dash of lethe water, a sprinkle of starlight. You grin, imagining him muttering, "Don't overdo the lethe, or they'll forget their own names." The rain sound is relentless, syncing with your breath, and you realize you're swaying. Caught in the chamber's restorative haze, you notice a small clay vial, half buried in the herbs. Its rim etched with a winged figure. You pick it up, feeling its weight, and wonder if it held a potion blessed by Hypnos' touch. The Lethe's murmur echoes faintly, and you think maybe sleep was the ultimate medicine, a way to forget pain, if only for a night. You picture patients waking here, their dreams carrying hints of healing, like a message from Hypnos himself. The rain's drone is a lifeline, but the bench's calm is a tide, pulling you toward rest. You stand, reluctant, and follow Hypnos as he moves past the bench, his wings brushing the cloth, stirring a faint scent of herbs and poppies. The chamber feels like a hospital room, but softer, infused with faith in sleep's power. You wonder if Hypnos felt the weight of those hopes, if he carried their prayers like he carried dreams. The cave, the rain, and the chamber's quiet healing are all you cling to now. Their rhythm, a promise of peace. You're still here, still listening. But the rituals and the rain are blending, drawing you into a sleep that feels nurturing, timeless, and just within reach. You're moving through the cave, the healing chamber's warmth fading as Hypnos leads you deeper. His wings, a soft shimmer in the dim, flickering light. The rain's gentle patter echoes, a steady rhythm that feels like it's part of your heartbeat now, guiding you into a new space where the air is lighter, tinged with a faint poppy scent and something fresher, like open sky. The walls here are smoother, almost glowing, etched with faint patterns that shift poppies, wings, and modern shapes you can't quite place. You're stepping into a place where Hypnos' legacy stretches beyond ancient Greece, echoing in today's sleep science and lore, a bridge between myth and the world you know. The rain's hum soothes your thoughts, and you feel yourself sinking into a drowsy reflection, like flipping through a book that connects past and present. The chamber is wider, its ceiling high and speckled with tiny lights, like a planetarium frozen in twilight. You notice a stone table, not ancient, but oddly familiar, strewn with objects that don't belong. A sleep tracker, a bottle of melatonin, a dog-eared book on circadian rhythms. It's as if the cave is blending Hypnos' world with yours, showing how his influence lingers. You smirk Hypnos as the patron saint of sleep apps, probably side-eyeing your late-night scrolling. The rain's soft drone keeps you tethered, but the chamber's blend of old and new pulls you deeper, like a dream that feels half-remembered. Historical fact: modern sleep science owes a debt to ancient Greek views of sleep as a healing force, with researchers today studying REM cycles and brain waves, echoing Hypnos' role in restoring balance, as seen in studies from institutions like the Sleep Research Society. You picture scientists now, charting brain scans, unknowingly tracing Hypnos's fingerprints, a quirky tidbit. Some modern sleep clinics use hypnotherapy techniques, a term rooted in Hypnos's name, though they're more about relaxation than divine intervention. You chuckle, imagining Hypnos crashing a lab. Like, nice tech, but have you tried poppies? The rain's patter blends with the chamber's hum, and you feel your eyelids droop. You step closer to the table, noticing a small screen flickering with data graphs of sleep stages, delta waves spiking. It's strange, seeing Hypnos's ancient magic translated into lines and numbers. You wonder if he'd approve, if he sees these tools as extensions of his craft. Hypnos hovers nearby, his horn glinting, and you imagine him curious, maybe amused, by how mortals chase his gift with gadgets. Historians still argue whether Hypnos myths inspired early medical theories or if they were just poetic fluff. A debate that hums here. Science feels like a new shrine to Hypnos. But does it capture his essence? You sit on a smooth stone, its surface cool and damp, and let the rain's rhythm wash over you. The chamber feels like a crossroads, where ancient vases meet smartwatches, where poppies and pills serve the same god. You picture Hypnos weaving dreams for modern sleepers, maybe sneaking into your own restless nights. You grin, imagining him muttering, "Put down the phone, kid, I have got this." The rain sound is relentless, syncing with your breath. And you realize you're swaying, caught in the chamber's blend of myth and reality. You notice a small notebook on the table, its pages filled with scribbled quotes. Sleep is the best meditation. Dreams are the brain's housekeeping. They're modern, but they echo those ancient poems you saw, as if Hypnos has been whispering to writers across time. The Lethe's faint murmur creeps back, and you think maybe sleep still carries forgetfulness, a reset for overstressed minds. You picture Hypnos approving, like, same vibe, new packaging. The rain's drone is a lifeline, but the table's objects are a tide, pulling you toward rest. You stand, reluctant, and follow Hypnos as he moves past the table, his wings brushing a screen, stirring a faint scent of poppies and plastic. The chamber feels like a museum of sleep, preserving Hypnos's legacy in every tool and tale. You wonder if he feels the weight of modern insomnia, if he longs for simpler nights. The cave, the rain, and the chamber's quiet echoes are all you cling to now. Their rhythm, a promise of peace. You're still here, still listening, but the legacy and the rain are blending, drawing you into a sleep that feels timeless, familiar, and just within reach. You're gliding through the cave now, the modern echoes of sleep science fading as Hypnos leads you deeper. His wings, a faint shimmer in the dim, wavering light. The rain's gentle patter hums, a soft rhythm that feels like it's woven into your very bones, pulling you back to the heart of Hypnos' domain. The air grows heavier, thick with the scent of poppies and damp earth, and the walls close in, their swirls glowing faintly. Like stars trapped in stone, you're returning to Hypnos' cave, its eternal dusk, a place where time and wakefulness dissolve. The rain's steady drone soothes your thoughts, and you feel yourself sinking into a drowsy haze, as if the cave itself is cradling you toward rest. The chamber is vast yet intimate, its ceiling lost in shadow, like a night sky that never dawns. You notice a low platform, draped in dark cloth, scattered with poppy petals that glow faintly, as if holding the last light of twilight. This is Hypnos' sanctuary, the core of his power, where he weaves sleep for gods and mortals alike. You imagine him here, eternal, his horn raised, pouring rest into the world. You smirk Hypnos, the ultimate night owl, running a 24/7 sleep shop. The rain's soft rhythm keeps you tethered, but the chamber's calm pulls you deeper. Like a tide you don't want to fight. Historical fact: ancient Greek poets, like those in the Homeric hymns, described Hypnos' cave as a timeless realm in the underworld, a place of perpetual dusk that symbolized sleep's escape from time's grasp. You picture it now, untouched by centuries, a haven where clocks don't tick. A quirky tidbit: some myths claimed Hypnos' cave had no doors, only shadows, so no one could disturb his work. Talk about the ultimate do not disturb sign. You chuckle, imagining him shushing intruders, like, quiet. I'm crafting REM cycles. The rain's patter blends with the cave's hush, and you feel your eyelids droop. You step closer to the platform, noticing a small pool beside it, its surface still, reflecting nothing but darkness. It's like the Lethe, but quieter, a private reserve for Hypnos' deepest spells. You wonder if he dips his horn here, mixing forgetfulness with sleep to ease the world's burdens. Hypnos stands nearby, his wings folded, and you feel his presence, not as a god, but as a force, eternal and unyielding. Historians still argue whether Hypnos' cave was a physical place or a metaphor for the mind's descent into sleep. A debate that hums here. The chamber feels real, but it's also a dream, a space where reality blurs. You sit on the platform's edge, its cloth soft and cool, and let the rain's rhythm wash over you. The poppy petals seem to pulse, and you feel a wave of calm, like sinking into a bed after a long day. You picture Hypnos here, night after night, weaving rest for a world that never stops. Maybe he's tired, or maybe he loves it, like an artist lost in their craft. You grin, imagining him muttering, "Another day, another dream, hope they like this one." The rain sound is relentless, sinking with your breath, and you realize you're swaying, caught in the chamber's timeless dusk. You notice a faint carving on the platform, a single poppy, its petals spread wide, like it's holding the weight of sleep itself. You trace it, feeling a warmth that's not just the stones, and you wonder if Hypnos feels the world's dreams, if they linger in his cave like echoes. The Lethe's murmur is faint, a reminder of release, and you think maybe this is where Hypnos lets go. 2. Shedding the weight of his work. You picture him leaning back, like mortals, gods. Same drama nap time for me. The rain's drone is a lifeline, but the platform's glow is a tide, pulling you toward rest. You stand, reluctant, and follow Hypnos as he moves past the platform, his wings brushing the petals, stirring a faint scent of poppies and rain. The chamber feels like a heart, beating with the pulse of sleep, preserving Hypnos' eternal dusk. You wonder if he ever leaves, or if this cave is his forever home, a place where time bows to rest. The cave, the rain, and the chamber's quiet eternity are all you cling to now. Their rhythm, a promise of peace. You're still here, still listening, but the dusk and the rain are blending, drawing you into a sleep that feels endless, gentle, and just within reach. You're deep in Hypnos' cave now. The platform's glow and poppy petals a fading memory as you follow him into a final chamber, where the rain's gentle patter feels like a whisper from the world above. Soft and distant, the air is thick, heavy with the scent of poppies and earth, and the walls are smooth, their swirls barely visible, as if the cave is dissolving into shadow. This is the end of the journey, where Hypnos guides you to rest, his wings shimmering like a promise of eternal dreams. The chamber feels boundless, yet close, like a cradle woven from dusk, and you sense the weight of sleep settling over you, gentle but inevitable. The rain's rhythm syncs with your slowing breath, and you're ready to let go, to drift into Hypnos' embrace. The chamber is empty, save for a single stone bench, its surface polished by time, draped in a thin layer of poppy dust that glows faintly. You imagine Hypnos here, eternal, his horn lowered, whispering rest to the world mortals, gods, even you. His presence is stronger now, not as a figure, but as a feeling, like the warmth of a blanket you didn't know you needed. You smirk Hypnos, the ultimate closer, shutting down the day like a cosmic barista brewing one last decaf. The rain's soft drone is your anchor, but the chamber's calm is a tide, pulling you toward a sleep that feels like home. Historical fact, ancient Greek myths, as in Hesiod's Theogony, portray Hypnos as a constant force, his power to bring sleep, an unchanging gift that binds all life. From mortals to Olympians, you picture him now, untouched by time, his cave a sanctuary where rest is eternal. A quirky tidbit: some Greeks believed Hypnos could pause time itself in sleep. A mini vacation from fate, basically the ancient version of hitting snooze. You chuckle, imagining him muttering, 5 more minutes. Universe? The rain's patter blends with the chamber's hush, and you feel your thoughts soften like petals falling. You step toward the bench, noticing a faint carving, a single wing, delicate and curved, like a signature from Hypnos himself. You trace it, and the stone is warm, pulsing faintly, as if it's alive with his power. You wonder if this is where dreams are born, or where they return, carried back by the Oneiroi. Hypnos stands nearby, his wings folded, and you feel his gaze, soft but knowing, like he's inviting you to rest. Historians still argue whether Hypnos's role was to serve or to rule. A final echo of the debates you felt before. But here, in this chamber, it doesn't matter. Sleep is his domain, and you're in it fully. The rain's rhythm is all you hear now, a lullaby that drowns out questions. You sit on the bench, its surface cool and smooth, and let the rain's gentle hum wash over you. The poppy dust seems to shimmer, and you feel a wave of calm, like sinking into a bed that knows your shape. You picture Hypnos crafting one last dream for you, maybe of rain-soaked fields or starry skies, something to carry you into rest. You grin, imagining him whispering, "Sweet dreams. Kid, don't fight it. The Lethe's murmur is gone, but its essence lingers, a promise of release." And you feel your worries slip like pebbles in a stream. The rain's sound is relentless, and you're swaying, caught in the chamber's eternal calm. You lie back, reluctant but ready, and the bench feels softer than stone, like it's molding to you. Hypnos' wings flutter, a faint breeze stirring the poppy dust, and you see a flash, a dream, maybe, of a cave where rain never stops, where rest is all there is. His horn glints, and you feel his power, not as a spell, but as a gift, wrapping you in sleep's embrace. The cave, the rain, and Hypnos' quiet presence are all you hold now. Their rhythm, a promise of peace. You're still here, but barely. Your thoughts dissolving as the rain and the god guide you to rest. Wind down. You're drifting now. The cave fading into a soft, endless dusk, where Hypnos' wings are a distant shimmer, and the rain's gentle patter is a whisper in your heart. The world feels far away, its noise and rush softened. Like a memory you don't need, you're safe here, cradled in the quiet, where time slows and your breath finds a gentle rhythm. Each drop of rain, each pulse of calm, carries you deeper into a place where worries unravel, where dreams wait like old friends. Hypnos is with you, his presence a warm shadow, guiding you to rest with a tenderness that feels eternal. Let your eyelids fall. Let your thoughts dissolve and sink into the peace he's woven just for you. The rain sings on, a lullaby older than God's, and you're slipping softly into sleep's gentle arms, where nothing but calm remains. Sleep now and let the night hold you.